We let him know a long time ago what his gift would be. We set the parameters for what kind of cat we could get. He must be male and under the age of 4 to ease the relationship with the older female cat we already have, but not the kitten. 9, my son, I don't use their names, I use their ages. 9 knew just what he wanted. A Maine Coon cat, the largest domesticated cat in the world according to his research. Baby, I say, they're not going to have a Maine Coon cat at the shelter. Because my kid is neurodivergent, I need to work a little harder to help him manage his expectations. That is, to preview what is to come. If we don't talk about things in advance, he will feel crushing disappointment when there is no Maine Coon cat. And his emotions might overwhelm him. His expression of his disappointment might be tears or even a meltdown. These are neurodivergent behaviors that bystanders, even members of his own extended family, would perceive as overblown, childish, or spoiled. Although he's been to the shelter before, and it seems like there is a vast number of cats, it can be hard for a kid to understand that there is only a limited selection. Any kid, neurotypical or neurodivergent, might feel that. Therefore, any kid can benefit from having an adult with greater experience smooth the way. Any kid. After pondering my words about the unlikelihood of finding the exact cat he's dreaming of, he says, "That's okay, we'll find a good one." With enough notice, my kid, like any kid, can go along with anything. On the day we land, my husband and I come home early from work. As a family, we head to the shelter, a 30-minute drive from our house. We arrive an hour and a half before they close. We have plenty of time to visit with the animals, select our pet, fill out the paperwork, and bring the cat home. We've brought all the supplies they require according to their website: a carrier, a towel, identification, and a checkbook. When we enter the shelter and see the myriad cats in their small houses, I can tell 9 is overwhelmed by the choices. I'm glad that we set parameters of age and sex to narrow our search. The first and only cat we find that meets our parameters is Miles, a black tuxedo. When I first wrote this story and gave my son, who read it to make sure it was okay, he said, "You didn't say anything about Miles. You put Miles in, so we're large okay." The first and only cat we find that meets our parameters is Miles, a black tuxedo, just like our other 2 cats at home. Miles instantly bonds with 9 in the visiting room, but my husband and I aren't sure how could it be that there is only 1 cat in the shelter that meets our criteria. So I walk around the shelter once more, looking closely at each cat to make sure we do not miss another one of the right age and sex. Pulling aside a sign, partly blocking the view, I find 1 cat we overlooked. There, behind a pane of glass, sits a majestic Maine Coon mix, all golds and reds, a veritable feline giant, face pressed up against the glass, and an inquiring expression. I call out to 9, "Come here!" He comes running over, his sneakers slapping against the polished concrete floor. "What do you see?" I say to him. He reads the words of the sign carefully. Then, my kid does what every parent loves to see. He loses his complete shit. "Mom, you said there wouldn't be one." "I did, buddy." I smile, unable to stop. I was wrong. We take the miniature lion into the visiting room. 9 is very good with cats. He reads manuals and handbooks about them, studies them on the internet. He is a cat expert. Like Miles did, the cat takes to him immediately, ignoring me, recognizing the gentle child who will be his friend. The cat, whom my kid has already named Goldeneye, is perfect. 30 minutes before the shelter closes, while my son hands the cat to the workers in the cat room to get the cat ready to go home, I head up to the counter to pay and sign the paperwork. "Sorry," the lady at the desk tells me. "No adoption, 30 minutes before closing." That was the right reaction. The breath whooshes from my body like I've taken a surprise tackle from behind. For a moment, I can't speak. I run through the details in my brain. All of the research I did before we came. I know this 30-minute rule isn't on the website. I read the posted rules on the signs around the building. I know everything that the public could possibly know because I researched it, all of it, before we came. My heart was racing, but I locked my emotions down tight. "Is there a way we were supposed to know that?" I asked. "We've been here for an hour, and we would have come up here sooner if we hadn't." "It's the rule," she says. "Sorry." She doesn't sound sorry. She sounds apathetic. She doesn't know what her words are doing to me right now and what they will do to my son. I think of the time we spent as we dolled in the playroom with Goldeneye, If only I had stepped out 5 minutes sooner. If only I hadn't stopped to chat with the volunteer in the cat room. The woman at the counter is telling me right now that my child is going to be crushed in a very specific way. A way I would have been crushed when I was his age. A way that I'm being crushed right now in echoes I've learned to ignore, but that have never gone away. Adaptability to sudden change can be difficult for neurodivergent minds. As psychologist Mega and Annette explained, sometimes as neurodivergent people, we struggle to adapt to change, stress, and conflict. More often than neurotypicals, we experience panic attacks, anxiety, and depression disorders, difficulty regulating our emotions, and more. The reason for these struggles has to do with the differences in the nervous systems of neurodivergent people. When our nervous systems are rigid, having a small window of tolerance, because of neurodivergence or trauma, we can easily fall into what's called dysregulation, characterized by hyperarousal and hypoarousal. In other words, neurodivergent kids and adults have nervous systems that more easily dysregulate in moments of sudden change and conflict. Neurotypical families might show up to adopt a pet and discover they needed a checkup and didn't bring one. These families might feel strong disappointment and sadness, but strong disappointment does not describe the powerful emotional reactions of my neurodivergent family to the sudden loss of Golden Eye. Shrugging things off is not our strength. We don't feel disappointment. We feel like the world has tilted sideways and that it will never right itself again. So our family did everything we could to make things predictable. We followed the rules down to every detail. We accommodated the animal shelter because we would never expect them to accommodate us. But now, at the middle counter, 29 minutes before closing, I'm asking for just that. Is there anything we can do? I just want to adopt a cat. We've been here for an hour. I'm begging. No,